What's happening, guys? Welcome to the live video today. My name is Sumit Chatterjee. I'm a master's in applied positive psychology and coaching psychology, and I have dedicated my entire life to studying the states of flow, also known as transient hypofrontality, where basically your prefrontal cortex slows down and time stops for you. Nothing else matters but the task at hand and what you're doing. So it's the ultimate state of focus, and it's the ultimate state of joy as well. And this is why I've doubled down and decided to make this my interest, my study. And I've gotten to know some patterns as I've grown older. I've seen a lot of the patterns of how people are actually in suffering, and they're not leading blissful lives. They're not leading happy lives. And so I get people coming to me each day with issues, with problems, and I start to recognize where are the loopholes, what's actually holding them back, where are the certain blind spots towards said happiness. Because people just say happiness as a very general term. However, the scientific word for happiness, okay, let me just see if I can do the whiteboard. Okay, so maintaining bliss. This is about something I call blisscipline. I've talked about this before, but the act of doing something you hate as if you love it, that's discipline. Doing something you hate that you love it, and you can understand that you can get back to base consciousness again and not be attached to the thrill of the moment of the task, right? You can go back to stock character mode. That's blisscipline. Now, happiness is a broad general term. Okay. Science may call it gratitude. Okay. All the studies in happiness and positive psychology have mainly been done with gratitude and the power of gratitude. Okay. So to be grateful for something means you're appreciating it as it is now. So it's bringing you into now consciousness. Let me say this again. Happiness, presence, bliss is available to us in a now consciousness, right here, right now, in the presence, in the present moment. It's not there in the past because then we get depressed. It's not there in the future because then we get anxious. You have to learn how to bring your attention back into what you are doing now. And this work is not really work. Like a lot of people see life as just work nonstop until you die. This is an unhealthy paradigm. Okay. This is an unhealthy paradigm, and this is the hustle culture that we're slowly viewing and watching. Hustle 24/7, the grind don't stop, right? All that stuff. But we know that work till you die is actually a very lazy mentality, right? It's actually too non-functioning. Think about it. So as a peak performance shaman, as an alchemist of this art form of giving yourself that bliss and changing the chemistry, your body's the greatest chemical factory, right? And so if you can change the chemistry of your body, mind, spirit complex, now you are stepping into joy, into happiness. Okay. Now, happiness, man, I'm going to cook here. So, happiness coach reveals greatest truth of bliss. Okay. I could have given this a more catchier title, but irregardless, doesn't matter, right? Clickbait doesn't matter. The message gets through to you. That's what matters. You take action on it. That's what matters. Okay. So let's start talking about this. Okay. Wealth doesn't impress me. Happiness doesn't impress me. Let's start there. It's the starting point. Okay. Happiness is a starting point for bliss. Happiness is more so, I would say, associated with what Bashar would actually say, the channeler Bashar. If you haven't heard of him, uh, Daryl Anka, I mean, right? He's come up with this map. So notice the difference in positive synchronicity reinforcement. We expand our consciousness. It's a state of growth and expansion. That's what we call happy as humanoids, right? As earthling Terran beings, we call it happiness, growth and inspiration, freedom and choice, understanding that you have a freedom and you have a choice to change your life in any given moment. So humans tickle themselves with thoughts and emotions, as Sadhguru says, right? You yourself are not an issue. You got to understand, this is also from him. This definition is great, I feel. Bliss is no fear of suffering. Imagine that you could be so blissed out, not blissed out in terms of taking certain things externally to make you feel good, but bliss that is created using your own breath, using your own visualization, using your own physical body, that you can engineer this thing. Actually, I've done Sadhguru's inner engineering. And again, it's yoga asanas, exercises, Shambhavi Mahamudra, right? The process of it. But he also has some fire breath work involved. He also has some mantra chanting involved. So he has figured out the right ingredients to help someone stay in this blissfulness, to prime their own states to tap into this, right? But if you're constantly living with this idea in your mind that what's going to happen to me, you're creating this unnecessary fear that's going to come in and take you away from the present moment. That's its job, right? That's its job, is to take you away from the now. But as we learned earlier, it's got to be the now, right? Isn't that funny? That was covered up. So when I'm aware, that's self-defense. I've got to understand to sustain this thing. Bliss comes and goes, we know it. How do I maintain it? You got to get more conscious. Joy is created consciously. Joy is created consciously and felt unconsciously. So you cannot be creating joy from an unconscious place, because then you're only extending this thing wrong, you know? Joy is created if you decide, I'm going to be joyous today. I'm going to be positive today. I'm going to try to see the bright side in things. Try to listen to your language, you know? If only I just want to be happy. In this contracted state, we feel like we just have to survive. We just have to get along. I don't have any choice. And we use all of these things to cope, right? We use all of these different hexagons, little honeycomb things to cope. like flower petals, right? The center of the flower showing everything is fine on the outside. Oh, everything's good. Yeah, it's all fine. I'm posting, cool pictures on social media. Inside, you're feeling like trash, right? And you have to acknowledge that actually. You have to acknowledge that actually, because the more you keep pushing it away, it's gonna be repressed. It's gonna be suppressed. That's how depression happens. You don't let yourself feel your emotions. Trust me, bro. You just do what I tell you. You just gotta ignore it, man. You just gotta let it go. How do I do that? How do I do that? Nobody's telling you how to do that. Everybody thinks they have the answer and the guru for happiness, but nobody has the answers. I'm giving you the answers right here. Okay. Listen, it's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You're going to have this feeling inside that I have a freedom and a choice to transform and change my life. Once you naturally tap into that feeling state and create it consciously, you will start to grow and expand. And that growth is you getting happier. Because human beings are meant to expand. They're not meant to contract into these small bubbles, small cages. Just go to your cubicle, show up and go back to work, just come back home, right? That's a lot of people's lives. Mostly people are just chasing the money, chasing the bag. Okay. They're not creating anything. You see that? So they're going after their goals. They're not thinking from their goals. They're not accessing the most conducive climate internally. They're not accessing a state of bliss that naturally expands. Okay? This is incredible. This information is incredible. It's just kind of flowing out of me. I did channel group Kundalini yesterday, so crazy wisdom. So that could have a little bit of an effect. But I've been in gratitude, man. I've been in real gratitude. I've been throwing up. Last night I threw up. This morning I threw up. It was a purging. It was a purging of something old, something that didn't belong anymore, something in me that ended, a chapter, a phase. And I recognized it. I'm not bulimic or whatever. I'm not like making myself throw up. Just, stomach issues or whatever, bug. But I think that this was meant to happen. I think this being was meant to share with me the secrets to joy, happiness. And if I look back at yesterday and I listened to how he started off, he was like, outwardly I'm a fool, inwardly I live with a spiritual system, right? One of his greatest quotes, Drew Puckle, right? So you might see me as this carefree person, using shock therapy and carefree renunciation. But he said, I frighten the NPCs. I don't fit into their holy little boxes. He said, dang, right? And he said, anybody that is going through a spiritual experience or mystical, ecstatic experience is labeled as crazy. Who claps for you when you're in bliss? Right? Slow self-clap coming up. Right? But it's maintainable and sustainable if you're in the now, if you're creating your joy, and if you're not, saying, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. Start now. Start working on your happiness now. When is too late? This is how you've been programmed. You think happiness is this end goal, right? I have to get to a finish line and then I'll be happy. When you don't even understand that it's a dynamic state that keeps changing. right? Circumstances change it. Maybe your genetics, how you grew up changes it, right? It's this flux of this joy that comes and goes. So if you get attached to that and not the Parabrahman, not the Tao, not the substrate of this whole experience called life, you're of course going to be chasing your own tail, right? Of course, you're going to be the carrot and the stick and the donkey going after it, right? I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. Happiness never arrives. It is claimed. Okay. Man, this is that crazy wisdom that I need, right? I am happy. You know why? I get to teach today. I get to help people, give them genuine insight into that impulsive energy internally that wants to do something, say something, be heard, be fulfilled, right? What is fulfillment, guys? Eudaimonia is one of my favorite words ever. We'll get into that, but look, the word daimon is in it. That's because daimon was also a word that they used for spirit, and eudaimon means good spirit, good spiritedness. Okay, it's a good spiritedness about you. That's that long-term happiness. A lot of people call life hedonic. I don't know, man. I just call it reality. Okay, samsara is hedonic, my friends. So hedonic is like the short term kind of, getting drunk every night, or like, taking lots of things to stay in pleasure, in stimulation, right? This is the short term, like kind of faded in and out happiness and joy that we feel, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last. You know what does last? Eudaimonia. Okay. Let's ask ChatGPT. How can we create more eudaimonia in our lives? Okay. I already know the answer, but I just want to know what it says. Okay. It says cultivate self-awareness, engaging meaningful work. Does my work serve others? Does it align with my life's vision? Right. Pursue growth, not just happiness. Hey, are we talking about this? Uphold virtue. Yeah, strengths and having knowing your strengths is very important, right? Deeply connecting with others, engaging in flow-inducing activities. Yep. Practicing reflection, gratitude, pursue your authentic goals, embrace your full humanity. We get it. We get it. Every single YouTube video is talking about this. Okay. You just have to do self-care, and you just have to be really, really grateful. Okay. Why don't you keep talking about it instead of walking your talk and being the most emanating, blissful character creature on planet Earth? Not in a toxic, positive way where it's fake. You don't want to be fake positive. That's not going to be sustainable either. It's authentic positive that works, right? So fuck these AI answers. Okay, number one. Number two, let's start really breaking it down, because fulfillment, if you understand the word, is to be fully filled, to have wholeness, right? To be fully filled is the circle. Now, if the circle is broken, we always feel like there's something missing, something is lacking, there's some kind of a missing piece, there's some void in my heart and my chest. I need to fill that hole. I need to fill that hole. You're unfulfilled. You're unsatisfied, correct? So you want to gain fulfillment. And fulfillment is the abiding feeling of happiness. So it abides, right? It's like a little stream, Keeps going. Right? In the peak moments of feeling really good, maybe you did something really good, you appreciate yourself, feel into that glory, right? And you settle it into your natural state again. Beautiful. You've just primed yourself to feel complete and fulfilled. It's a feeling, ultimately, right? But don't make it fleeting. You see, you've been doing this thing all wrong. You've been treating all your emotions, but you've been doing it with a little bit of strategy, right? You have preferences. You want to be like, happiness, come here. Sadness and anger, you sit in the corner over there. You're in detention now, right? You're not letting all your emotions come in and be loved as all children deserve to be loved. You're treating certain emotions more than others. Okay? I'm really getting through to some of you, man. You're zooming into sadness as if it deserves more importance than your anger, and you're looking at anger as if it deserves more than, apathy and numbness, which is actually putting a casing on top of the other emotions, right? Shame, guilt, apathy. These things, they're like constrictors, they're the contractors, right? Because why? Because they reinforce this belief. I have no choice. I just got to get by another day, bro. Right? Can I borrow some money? Okay. You never get your money back. Can I please have some cash, bro? I mean, I don't want to ask, but okay. It's a state of contraction. They're rejecting certain things. They're justifying, yeah, that's okay, that's fine, I'll do it later. They're rewarding themselves too much. They're in this paranoia state, and then they're projecting onto others. Like, this person is fucked up, this person is like this. When are you going to start pointing fingers at yourself, motherfucker? Right? When are you going to start pointing fingers towards you and saying that this is exactly what I need to do? And I need to fix this. I need to lean into this. Okay. Now, again, a little bit of tough love, Uncle Makara shows it. Okay. I'm ultimately loving and I care for you. That is why I'm angry at you. You have to understand every single emotion has a baseline of care. And without care, again, we can pretend like we don't care, right? We can pretend that we don't care when we really care. So care is the baseline for every single emotion, actually. Okay. This is what I learned from one of my mentors a long time ago. Okay. This is deep. This goes so deep that it's even within what the Freemasons and all of them believe. Like, this goes so deep. This is like the hidden apex of Hermeticism, right? That I'm teaching you here. You guys don't know how powerful care and the heart space is. You can move an entire generation of people with care. Do you guys understand this? Give me a thumbs up, guys. You have to understand that care is so important when it comes down to emotional regulation and management. Okay. Now I've got to go right now because I've got to serve the planet. Okay. Some people who've paid me for my time, right? So I do this for free every single day. Show up, learn in the best way possible, and use what I just shared with you today. Do something with it. Okay. Work till I can't get enough. Work till I can't get enough. Work till the wheels fall off. Work till the wheels fall off. Okay, you keep singing that little lullaby, that little show tune to yourself, and I'll be resting 100% and working 100%. How about that? How about that? Okay, let's get it. Upward spiral gang. May we never be the same again. Thank you so much for tapping in. Again, I removed a lot of gunk. I'm going to continue doing it May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you. Stay unstoppable. You got this. We got this. Uncle Makara, tapping out, but I'm always tapped in, baby. Let's get it. Upward spiral. May we never be the same again. Peace. Much love.